guys, welcome back to the show. Dr. Jenny, Susan, Open Wide Podcast. Whoopsie daisy. Today we have a really interesting pop culture roundup sort of thing going on today. Right, Susan?
Right. Mm-hmm. And can't wait to get to the subject. Hurry up.
So what we're going to do is just jump right in, and it's kind of a rapid fire. So I know, Susan, you absolutely cannot stand watching these Housewives and these reality shows, but
I took one for the team.
I had you take one for the team. Tell me, what did you think of Members Only Palm Beach on Netflix?
Okay, here's what I think. You need to move there. Okay? Have you ever seen bigger, bolder, whiter teeth in your life? And those girls spend a lot of money on their teeth. So you need to move there. And you could be the Dr. Jenny who weaves in and out to fix and whiten and fluff them up whenever they're going to these things.
I don't think I can keep up with it over there. I mean, I just do not, I couldn't even be that way here, let alone there.
Okay.
I just couldn't.
You're leaving a lot of money on the table because those girls spend a lot of money on their teeth. So,
not only teeth, but a lot of other things.
Right. So what's the question? What was
your overall analysis of Members Only Palm Beach? Like, this is a show that is in existence on TV, on Netflix. It's a Netflix series.
Yeah. So, I don't like these shows that have fake women in them. And these women have had a lot of work done, and I'm not against having work done, but I just feel like if you're putting yourself on display just to put yourself on display, and we're supposed to watch that, I just don't understand what the value is. Okay, so was my first impression, my one and only time of watching it last night. Although I will say, to balance out my critique, many of those women are self-made millionaires. One of the main characters, a woman by the name of Hillary, is self-made. She's a real estate agent and a real estate developer in the greater Palm Beach area, and she's really made a lot of money for herself. So bravo for her. There's a couple of other women there who come from nothing. One of them comes from a Russian country. I forget which one.
Uzbekistan
or Kekbekistan, one of the stands.
Right.
And so she's come over and, has made herself into something here. So I want to applaud that part of the show. I just don't understand why they have to push each other down, why they have to, be the bigger and the better and the best dress and the more diamonds. And that part I just don't understand. But I also will say they seem to do a lot of philanthropic work, and that's always good for a community. I just wish they'd tone it down a bit. So that's just my one and only commentary about that show.
All right. So see what you think of this.
Yeah.
I wonder to myself, it seems to me that there's the party girl, there's the outlier girl, there's the self-made billionaire girl, there's the I married a billionaire girl. It seems like there are scripts.
Yeah.
For
those are the production values.
Or 6 or 7 people,
right? Which
makes me wonder how much of this is already just man-made. Like the entire show. I don't know. It seems to me the Beverly Hills Housewives, you've got the same personality.
Yeah, no, I think it's a production value that they all use. And it makes sense. You'd want to have
people are
those
watching
characters.
It. People are watching this. They're actively seeking it out. It's a Netflix show, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, what does that say about us, the people out there
when
that
we
are
talked about this
it?
before, as it related to Housewives of wherever, I'm hoping that it's just that it's an escape. That we're so inundated with so many sort of awful things that are going on in the world right now that this is a great place to escape. It's sort of like how I feel about People magazine. When it shows up on Fridays, I can mindlessly read. And, so I'm hoping that's what it is, and that people aren't aspiring to live like that. I hope.
I agree with you. And I also think that these shows are very cliquish. So in the New York episodes, you're going to have a lot of New York isms and New York things. Like, we're going to talk about bagels and, stuff. New York, Palm Beach is Palm Beach. We're talking about pickleball and parties and, that kind of thing. And I don't know. I mean, the thing is selling. The
Yeah.
episodes are selling themselves.
Right.
So
Well, there's a certain amount of voyeurism
I
that goes
think it's
on
an
there
escape. I
too.
think
Well, yeah. Plus, like, oh, how does the other half live? Or, how do these people live? And, I mean, I suppose there's some element of, oh, that's kind of exciting to see. But you're right. There's a lot of production that goes into these things, and this isn't all organic. Let's just put it that way.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I do also think I don't like to see the women fighting. I like the fact that a lot of them are self-made. I like the fact that they can talk about business.
Yeah.
They can elevate it a little bit.
Right.
But then when you get into just catty fighting amongst people, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I want to see us get along and grow and do better together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But speaking of derailing,
Yeah.
let's also dive into, did you hear the latest on Britney Spears?
Yeah, I did. And I just want to say about Britney Spears, whom, of course, I don't know personally, and I only know, what I read in the smart magazines, basically.
Your people.
Yeah, right. I feel so badly for that girl. I feel like she's got some kind of mental illness, I think, or some sort of imbalance going on. I think she may have been pushed from a young age to be a childhood star. And I don't know anything about her parental infrastructure, though that doesn't seem pretty solid to me. And on top of it, she appears to have some kind of a mental illness going on. And so I feel terribly bad for her. And I think she probably is alone and is making some obviously bad choices. She's estranged, on and off estranged from her 2 kids. And I can get it from their point of view. It's hard to work with somebody who's a manic, and she may be a manic. But it's probably one of the saddest stories coming out of entertainment right now, that this girl is suffering in this way, because she's clearly suffering.
I agree with everything you said. I feel like Britney Spears was on the cusp of being Taylor Swift back in the 2000s.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like she was a child star, and people saw dollar signs with her.
Yes, there's no question.
And like a circus person,
they just kept her going on the wheel,
and worked her and worked her. And she's lost her way. And I understand that she doesn't have great relationships with her family.
Yeah.
And anytime you're thrust into the spotlight and you don't have a solid core going into that, it gets really dicey. I just pray that we are not going to witness Britney spiraling down.
Oh, we are witnessing it already. And I know that one day we'll pick up
spiraling further
paper in the morning and something terrible will have happened to her. Now, I mean, I also get that if she's refusing help, and I'm sure somebody along the way has offered her sort of numerous opportunities to do this or that to get back on track. And if she's refusing it and she won't listen and it's her way or the highway, it's hard for anybody to kind of penetrate through that and actually help. So I don't know the circumstances. I just know what I see, and it's sad.
Do you remember Demi Moore?
Yeah.
When she sort of disappeared from Hollywood life?
Yeah.
When I heard that Britney got arrested in Ventura, California, I thought, girl, you need to get out of the Hollywood scene.
Yeah.
You need to get out of California. You need to go into the mountains. You need to get yourself together.
Yeah.
Demi literally disappeared from Hollywood for a period of time, and took care of herself, from what I understand. And I hope that Britney can do that in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
I watched a quick special on Britney Spears. I forget on what service it was, but they were talking about how she had that conservatorship where apparently her father, that she did not have great relations with, was responsible for everything in her world. And then I think it was 2021 that they did away with the conservatorship. And then in 2023, somewhere in California, she was pulled over, and maybe it was in her neighborhood for swerving, but the police officer didn't do anything with that because of X, Y, and Z. And now here we are with an alleged DUI.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the conservatorship. I did at the time remember thinking that this is a grown woman, and she couldn't even, buy a bottle of water without checking with somebody, and that didn't seem right either, right? I mean,
Right.
she's the one that worked for this money. She should be able to do so. But I'm speculating from afar, and I don't really know the circumstances. But you're right. Where we are now is not pretty, and I worry about
And
her.
also how we feel about Britney. Imagine her children. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel for those kids. I mean, what sort of parental role models do they have?
Right.
Have they had in
Yeah,
their
that
life thus far? So we
that I
got to
don't
keep
know.
an eye out for those guys too. So
Yeah.
our hearts and prayers go out to Britney.
Yeah, I agree.
Britney
I
and
just
her
think it's
family,
just
for
a really
sure.
sad. I think it's a sad story and almost a sad commentary of how we push these young kids into stardom. Like Judy Garland was another one, and Mickey, what is his name, was another one, and Justin Bieber seems to be, and these were all childhood stars that didn't have a chance to formulate their identity as a child and grow into their identity. I'm making stuff up. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. Let's hope that things work out for her. But I don't know.
Well, and Justin Bieber, I think he was discovered via YouTube when he was 13 years old.
He was young. Yeah.
And again, you take a child
Yeah.
and you throw them in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that rock solid, impenetrable fortress
Yeah.
behind them that they can
Right.
count on, that they trust and love and adore and can carry them through this stardom thing.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot of trouble. And
Yeah. But that I can I'm not condoning it, but I can kind of understand from a parental point of view. You have a 13-year-old, he's jumped to the top of the charts. And now if he can go on tour, he could make $10 bazillion every year, which means we take him out of school, we take him out of his infrastructure, and he's not at home, and he's sleeping in hotels. I'm making stuff up. But you can kind of see where, we only have 10 years to make a fortune. And so we'll sacrifice what you and I had as a rigorous upbringing of you go to the swim meets and then you go to school. You're expected to get these grades, and you have these rules and regulations. And you got little jobs in the summer. Yeah, that right, yeah. Exactly. So I don't know. You can kind of see how it happens. It doesn't make it right, though.
But it's all ego driven.
Yeah,
you're looking at that child and that financial potential in that child for the next 10 years. I don't know. I
don't know either, but let's turn it around another way. So if you take an ice skater, okay? So some of these little ice skaters that were just at the Olympics, they start when they're 12 years old, and it may mean that they have to go train in Minneapolis, because if you live in Florida, you can't train at all on the ice. But if you go to Minneapolis and now you're living away from home, or you're an Olympic swimmer, you're living away from home because your coach is, or you're a gymnast and you're living away from home because your coach is in Romania. I'm making stuff up. But you make these sacrifices in order to reach these goals. And so we don't kind of see sports figures unravel the way we're talking about Britney Spears, but I'm sure they do, because they too didn't have the same thing.
That's right.
But you only have a window of opportunity to make this happen for this kid, because they're only going to be young once, and their legs are going to be strong from such and such an age to such and such an age. And
I also feel, I'm not a parent of a child, only furry animals. I also feel that the temperament of the child plays a lot into this. So if you have a child that's a softie,
yeah,
they're a softie. They cry at the drop of a hat.
Right.
They don't take criticism well.
Right.
And yet they are insanely talented singing.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that's going to be a train wreck in the future.
Right.
Versus you have a child that wants to go to every swim meet with the other families,
Right.
and has
It's
no
very
problem fitting in,
adaptable.
and is
Yeah,
the lead
no, that's right.
cheerleader at school, and is in 17 clubs and has 45 friends. And, that person is probably going to be able to handle
roll with
what's
the punches.
coming. Right.
Roll with the punches.
So
but let's
feel
go
like
back to the sensitive.
temperament,
Yeah,
the
but let's go
sensitive
back to the
child.
sensitive child.
Yeah.
Who has the $1 million voice.
Yeah.
Now put yourself in the place of the parent. What do you do? Deny him the opportunity to use his voice to sort of get ahead and get international notoriety, because you want him to be in school and have work on Saturday, mow lawns on Saturdays and that kind of thing? Or what do you do? And that's the dilemma.
It's not easy.
And it's not
I mean,
easy.
I don't think there's a right answer.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think it's sort of a push, pull,
Yeah.
push, like try a little here, pull it back, go over here, try a little here.
Yeah.
But you got to take care of your child first.
Yeah.
But I would think if they got into the spotlight wheel really fast,
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? It's kind of like an engine that you probably can't get out of.
You can't get
like
out of
it's
it
as
at
a
a certain
production
point.
that's
I think
like,
you're right. Yeah.
again, I didn't have children. I didn't have talented children. So
That's a question.
I do
Would you
not
have had talented children?
I don't know. I really, it could go either way with me.
Depends on who the father is. We're not going to count on
It's
you.
all on the father. Speaking of, I also wanted to bring back to the Housewives, and we were talking about members only Palm Beach, yada yada. Lisa Rinna.
Yeah.
She's a Beverly Hills housewife. Have you heard that she came out with a new book? Now, number one, why are we taking advice from Lisa Rinna? That's one. Number two, who's buying this book?
Okay, well, I didn't know there was a book, so let's start with that. I know I was supposed to
got
do the homework before I got here. What's the name of the book?
I don't know the name of the book.
Okay.
But I know she wrote a book. Now, she's written some other books, I believe, and they are about things that just shouldn't be really talked about. She's flamboyant. She's out there. She wants to lay it on the table and whatever. But in this recent book, she disses Dionne Warwick. She calls her a nasty piece of something or a nasty piece of trash or something like that. Dionne Warwick, a beloved singer for how many years?
Well, maybe she was a nasty
60 years?
piece of trash.
They were on the Celebrity. Well, here's what happened. They were on the Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. Say no more. Okay.
Apparently, Dionne asked Lisa to get me a Pepsi or something. And Lisa did it. She was ordering Lisa around like Lisa was her assistant, and Lisa was doing it. And that's apparently why Lisa Rinna called Dionne Warwick a nasty piece of trash. You can't take a fixture like Dionne Warwick and say nasty piece of trash, even if she was a nasty piece of trash.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
All right.
Take it away.
Well, I'm going to disagree. I think that if you have an encounter with somebody that, really mistreated you, you can say what your truth is, and we can either buy the book and believe it or not believe it. But, maybe that is her truth. And there's a lot of people I think that come across as X, but they're really Y behind the scenes. But yeah, I don't know why Lisa Rinna has written a book or why anybody would buy it, or I'm not buying. I didn't even hear about it. I already know too much about it right now.
We don't even know the name of it to buy it. So what good we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's bring it back to, Judge Judy and Dr. Laura.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself the other day, why do they exist? Now, we both love, I know, because we talked a little bit before the podcast, we both love Judge Judy. Dr. Laura, but Judge Judy, we both love.
Yep.
But why do we need people like that on the air and on TV?
Okay. Do you think that anybody is saying the same thing about Wide Open podcasts? Why do we need
you got a point.
Why do we need these two? Okay.
You got a point there, Susan.
Okay. So I think with any kind of programming, there's the religious channel that our mothers were watching, which we would never watch in a million years.
Yes.
And there's the Palm Beach blah, blah, blahs on the other end, which we're not going to watch. But there's everything in between. Pick and choose. That's why there's so many channels. You can pick and choose. You like Judge Judy, you don't like Judge Judy. You like Dr. Laura, you like her. You want to watch Animal Kingdom, whatever.
So you're saying you have the population base. They are divided up into the people that need Dr. Laura, the people that want to listen to this, the people that want to watch Animal Kingdom. So whatever's out there, choose what you want to listen to and listen to it.
Right.
What was it about Judge Judy that you loved the most?
Well, I like the fact that she's kind of no nonsense and she calls people on their crap. And that's what I really like. So you can tell now I've watched the show. I've given myself away. I wasn't on the religious channel. I was on. But, I think she cuts through the crap and she just says, no, that's not right. Show me the evidence. And, they're fumbling around their papers and they can't find the evidence. I don't know. That's the reason why I like her. I just think she cuts right through the crap and she doesn't put up with any BS from anybody. And that's the reason why I would watch it from time and again.
It would be so nice to be able, and she was also up there behind that big desk, with that little hammer. And
yeah, well, they all are. All the judges are, yeah.
But wouldn't it be nice for one day to just be able to walk the earth and anything you saw that you disagreed with or didn't resonate, you just were a Judge Judy, but you were safe. You know.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Safe because all the things that she's saying,
yeah,
she's safe. She's protected up there.
Yeah.
It's like if we walked around and said what we thought with everything going on out there.
Like she has no trouble saying, shut up and sit down.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Wouldn't you love to say that all day?
If you did that in your daily life, we would be like,
shut up and sit down. Yeah, it's true.
I think it's interesting what's going on in our culture right now as far as all this stuff goes. And I do feel Britney may need a little Judge Judy. The Palm Beach people may need a little Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna needs a little Judge Judy. Maybe Judge Judy needs to do private consulting work. But she's got to be in her 80s now, right?
I think so. I think she is. She has a place in Newport near a friend of mine. And she has a magnificent home right on the water.
Is it built in the form of a gavel?
Newport, Rhode Island, no. But you can see the driveway, there's Bentleys and all kinds of stuff. But she herself drives a little pink like Beetle or something. That's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, I second Judge Judy, and I thank you for doing this little pop culture roundup. And,
because you know how painful these are for me, right?
It's like pulling teeth.
Ooh, it's like flossing teeth.
And that is our pop culture roundup. And Susan, thank you so much for getting through. We thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, please share this show with friends and family and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way, you'll never miss weekly drops. Stay strong, dream big, and floss your teeth.